Good morning, YouTube! Another Dollarama toy. The travel, what do they call this? Sentry. Combination lock. TSA approved. Well, let's see if it's Kevy approved. There's the packaging. I screwed up my first video. Life sucks, right? Anyways, $4.25. They got these in a couple colors at Dollarama. So, if you got a Dollarama nearby, there you go. Now, combination lock, you can change the combo. Default combo it comes with 000, like any other combo should come with, except for the ones we used in school. Remember those? They still make that crap. Anyways, so when it's default, of course, it's unlocked, so you just pop it up and voila, you're unlocked. Now you can go put it on your item and don't change the combo. This makes it easier. No, I'm just kidding. You're gonna need to change the combination, obviously. If you ever left something in 000, well, not a very good option. However, with this, when you pop it up, you turn the thing 90 degrees, and there's a little tabby here, okay, that you can probably see a little bit of. It's right down in here, okay? So that's only gonna fit up and down in one spot. If you turn it the other way, it's not gonna go. So it's gotta go in there. So this works a lot like that last combination lock that I showed you how to change the combo on the channel, okay? And anyway, so we squeeze down as per, but first we need to make sure we're looking on the side here at the dial so we set the combo right. So we're gonna go over here, we're gonna go, oh, let's see. We're gonna change, it's hard to see the numbers, 9, 1, 8. Just to verify that before we close it up. Sorry, my eyes aren't what they used to be. 918. Yep, that's what we got. All right, so now we just lift it up, relock it, scramble the eggs, and that is not going to open. So now we got to open it back up. Nine. The tumblers don't feel too bad. I mean, it is a cheap lock. The bottom tumbler feels pretty slacky. At least on this one. And 918. And then we want to change it back again. Same deal, turn it 9 degrees, push in and hold. Now, for now, I'm going to leave this on 000 because I don't even know what the hell I'm going to use this thing on yet. I have an idea, but anyway. 000. Yep, good to go. Okay. Now, if this is indeed a metal casing, doing the bite test, almost impossible to tell. It's got a nice enough coating on there. My teeth can't tell. My teeth are sensitive to metal, so it's like, you know, when people are eating and they drag their fork across their teeth, it just makes my whole body go, ugh. And I've done it by accident before, and it's disgusting. Oh, it still gives me the shivers. Holy crap. Anyways, so I can't really tell you per se if this is a metal casing or not. It probably is, though. Now, it does have key slot. So that's an override. It doesn't happen too often, especially on cheap locks. But only problem is they didn't give us a key. So I Googled this because I'm like, what the frig? Give me a key slot, no key, and it's like, I tried a screwdriver, trust me, it doesn't work. It's an actual key, and it's a specially shaped key. They say they don't allow the public to access the key. You must go to either one resort is learn how to pick the lock. It's not that hard, right? You'll figure it out eventually. All you gotta do is pull up on the shackle and start turning. And when you feel it, a little bit of give, you're probably there. Go to the next one, same thing, right? Everybody knows how to pick locks like that. And a lot of times we're quite successful if we do it right. Other times we screw up and we're like, argh, you know. So I looked in a little further and I typed in the model number of this lock because the model number is very clearly marked on the bottom. It actually says it's a TSA 007. And it has some other name down below, HNG. Anyways, so looked it up. Guess what? AliExpress, for $1.30, you can buy the actual key for this. Why on the Lord's green earth would they not give us the key with the lock. Like, I've seen locks like this, with much better quality, mind you, that do have a key, an override, and they give you the key. Because they kind of really need to do that so that you have the only key for that lock. Now, it's definitely going to be a master key that will work on any of these. So, which kind of makes a bit of a problem, I guess, when it comes to the whole security thing, that if you're at the airport and, somebody takes your luggage by accident because it's the same bag and you just both have the same lock, they're going to be like, oh, why is my combo not working? And then they'll use their key, override, and go, oh, nice. So make sure you don't put anything important in there. Keep that in your overhead luggage. Otherwise, you might lose your important stuff in your bag. So, yeah, security is really not that secure after all, is it? However, at least the fact that you have a combo lock on, I would not recommend a combo lock that has a key override. I mean, there is more than one way to pick these things even without an actual key. But the fact that you can buy these keys from AliExpress and probably other places for probably any of these kind of locks, it really begs the question of how much security do we really have in these locks? Like, companies should be giving us the key, and they should also make sure that even if they create 10 million of these, that every key is unique to each lock. Okay, kind of like they try to do on vehicles. Okay, I do know a situation where my brother-in-law, he actually went into the wrong vehicle. He turned the key and it fit into the door, and he thought it was his vehicle because it was his and another guy there, both of them exact same vehicle, no different, right? So this happened to be one of those situations where the 1 in a million chance happens. He turns the thing in and gets in, and it's like, all of a sudden, it's like, this is not my vehicle. Shit. Gets out, locks the door, finds his. So they can only repeat a key pattern at the automobile plants only so many times, and they're going to end up with repeat business. How many times, we don't know. And across what models of vehicles, we also don't know, because it could be a different model from the same company that has the same exact key. Now, people don't think of this, but apparently it does actually happen, because it happened to my brother-in-law. So there's something to let you know on. You can only repeat sequences so many times. But the chances of this actually happening in reality is kind of like a 1 in a million chance that it's ever going to take place, right? This is a pure accidental thing. 2 exact same vehicles, and he just kind of opened up the wrong one. So you're going to find the same thing with this stuff. But the TS, this particular model, and there was one other model listed, every single TSA 007 and the other one listed, anybody who has this lock, that one key alone will open up all of them. Okay, so there's nothing unique there. So something maybe keep in mind. I'm not going to say this is a quality lock by any means. Okay, I mean, the level of security on this thing, I could take probably a pair of pliers, grab this end, and just snap it apart. Okay, if I really wanted to. But the idea is we got to try and be a little trusting on this planet, unfortunately. And this can work as a lock. If you have something else kicking around even in the home that may require to be locked, keep your kids out, this will keep your kids out. Kids aren't that bright. They're not going to figure out any of this, depending on their age. So, but YouTube teaches you how to pick these locks, right? But otherwise, generally, you're safe to go and throw that lock on and you're good, right? It's not high quality. It definitely is not, okay? But for $4.25 for something light duty or something you just want to have a lock on, but you don't want to spend a lot of money on the item, this can work, right? I have an idea for this lock that'll work for me, and so that's another reason why I did buy it, because I thought, well, hey, why would I pay X amount for another lock like I have now that works quite well, even though its security level is probably about 3, but for what I needed it for, it works, okay? I also don't have little munchkins running around, so I don't have to worry about that. So, but for this, I would say when it comes to Dollarama, there are a lot of things that are a pig in a poke. This kind of a lock, of any locks they might sell, this may be an issue for you, or it may not. It's do what you wish. It's $4.25. If you need one in a pinch, it's there. The key thing, if you really want the key that bad, well, apparently they don't want to give it to us, so spend $1.30 on AliExpress, and they'll send you the key for the lock, and you'll have that as a bypass in case you ever have, if you ever forget. It is really handy, I must say, to have a key as an override for any combo lock, just because, well, let's say, it doesn't matter how old you are, you could have a heart attack, you would recover, maybe, hopefully, you have a stroke, right? You need to get into that item, because you're going to forget your combo, or forget where you even wrote it down if you've had a stroke. Generally mild strokes, probably not so much, but you never know, right? Strokes are strokes. Some are nasty, some are kind of, you know what I mean? But simple fact is, if there is a key and you forgot, but you remember that item and you need to get into it, and you know where the key is, or somebody does, or it's on your key ring where it should be, that you take with you all the time, you would be able to bypass and override the tumblers and just easily get into it. So I like the idea of the key, but on the other side of the fence, it does make for issues if, you know, they have not uniquely made every single key different for even this model, which it would appear they have not. It's the exact same key. So if tons of people buy this, and like I said, you get in a thievery issue, even by accident, somebody can, if they have a key, they're going to use the key. Right? So, I mean, they should clue in pretty quick. Hey, this is not opening because that's not my combo. Not my bag, I guess, probably. But some people are honest, some are not in this world. We definitely find that for sure. Anyhow, but that's what you get for $4.25. At least you can create your own code any way you want. It's just so simple. It's like rotate, push down, do what you want. Open it up, push it down, scramble it up, try your code, and it will work. This one here has a bit of a loose tumbler on the bottom, which it's fine, it's functional. The other ones seem to be pretty good and stiff, which is nice, and they have a good solid click into place. But the bottom one on here is kind of fluey. So I'm kind of like, well, whatever. As long as it will still work, I'm fine with that. So, you know, and but worst comes to worst, you don't have the key, you don't want to wait a couple months from China, just grab yourself a pair of pliers and your hand on one side and just go like this, back and forth, or just twist and snap it apart. I'm going to call this basically a security level maybe 1, okay? So it'll at least give you a level 1. So, but that's what I got. Like I said, for $4.25, I mean, it works. It's not a bad deal. It does have those side effects to it, but it's what it is. Being security level 1, in my opinion at least, to give you a star rating would be, I don't know. I mean, we're going to find ones where all 3 tumblers are nice and stiff, I'm sure. I just got the luck of the draw that this one's a little loose, but it is functional. It's not a big deal. But I'm not going to judge it based on that because that's just one. I don't know, maybe let's give it, considering everything though, including that key slot with no key, and they should be giving us the keys. Let's give it a solid 3 out of 5. Okay? I'd say a solid 3 out of 5. And if you really want the key that bad, just search up the model number of the lock and just type in like TSA 007 key type of thing, right? And you'll come across the AliExpress link. I did. You'll find a couple other links too where you can get the key for whatever price if you want the key that bad. So I was kind of disappointed because I have seen the locks where they do come with the keys on the more expensive locks like this. they provide you the key, because they kind of need to, right? But anyway, apparently this one, they chinched out, but it is Dollarama after all. So thank you, and bye-bye.